Hi everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine episode 52. I'm Tammy.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
We do have some finishes and some whips, and we probably want to go through those.
Yep, we can do that. Okay, so let's see, where's my
Have
first?
finishes?
No finishes, you guys go ahead.
Okay. I have I have three. I'll call it three.
Okay, why don't you go first?
Okay, so the first one I'm going to show is a self-drafted pattern, and this one is, remember last time, if you watched the podcast last time, that was pretty presumptuous. I talked about Karen and Joe coming to visit over Christmas, and Karen wanted me to help her get started on crochet, and I hadn't crocheted in a hot minute, like years. I probably hadn't picked up a crochet hook other than to do a provisional cast on since I taught these girls how to knit because we've been like heads down focused in knitting. Well, anyway, I kind of caught that crochet bug for a hot minute, and just by picking up the hook and helping Karen. And so I had started a self-drafted, very open weave pullover. I call it, what did I decide to call this? A topper. It's just a crochet topper, self-drafted. And so here's a video of me wearing it. And I just think that it's just going to be super easy. I had bought this yarn, this Cecia Elegant yarn, and you can see how glittery this stuff is. But it's 42% silk, 42% cotton, 10% metallicized polyester, which is the bling, and then 6% polyamide. I can hardly break this. And I think it's the polyester and polyamide. But I bought a bunch of balls of this, and I had the idea of doing some kind of a really open knit topper to wear over strapless things or spaghetti strap things or sleeveless things or whatever. And when I was messing around with Karen and the crochet hook, I started this. And I think it's going to be really great. So we're getting ready to head to St. Vincent Island to a sandals with friends. And I have like a navy linen jumpsuit that's got spaghetti straps on it. And I thought this would be good in air conditioning over that. And I think I've got like, 4 or 5 other things that are navy-ish that this will be good in air conditioning over. So I can start out, if it's warm walking into the restaurant, I can throw it around my shoulders and, loop it down, or just let the sleeves hang down the front. And then when we get in there, if I need to, I'll put it on. So I'm real happy with it. And
really cute.
I mean, it's just
It's
easy
very
to
cute.
wear, right?
Yes.
And there was a video of you wearing it too.
Yep. Yep, there was. So if anybody's interested, this is about a size, I'm going to say 38-ish, so there's very little ease around the bust, if any. And but I did the instructions for exactly what I did and how many I did to get that are in there. So if you do a little swatch and you're interested, it would be super easy for you to figure out how to make it either bigger for your size or smaller for your size. But it was pretty simple. So that's that.
Nice.
Do you have a finish?
I have the Micah's Raglan sweater by Hannah Graham.
How
This
adorable.
is just a little, for my little grandbaby.
That's so
This
cute.
is the 18 months sweater. And I don't know if it's gonna fit. Well, he's in 12 months now, so it's gonna be a little big on him. But hopefully it's 2 size. Like, you know, you make something you don't know, is this gonna fit or what's the deal?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I used the Go Handmade Cozy, and it's in colorway caramel. And then for the light color, this is beige. It's the Rowan All Seasons Cotton. And so it's like a cotton and acrylic
I would wear
sweater.
that sweater.
So
I would too, right?
I'm just saying.
it's cute. So this pattern here goes up to a size 10 in kids, 10-year-old. So I can keep making them as it gets bigger.
Yeah.
We might have to steal that pattern and do one for ourselves.
I'm thinking if we just knew what that cable crossing, how many, because it's paid for pattern, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have to
Anyway.
buy it. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
oh well.
But if, you could do that in any raglan sweater.
Yeah, you really could. Yeah. So cute.
Wow. I'm just gonna have to keep that hot on my list. I'm sure you did no modifications, no waist shaping or
Right. Nothing of that sort.
for a chubby little baby belly, because they all have those, the little round bellies from where they eat all the
cute.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next finish is the Cragmore vest by Beth MacDonald Stone, and I did not do a video of me wearing it because I have a tank top on, and it's just, I figured what I'll do is put in a picture from my finished photos. I've got a picture of me wearing it on the front and the back. So you can see it with a blouse underneath. But here it is.
So cute.
It's
I love it.
beautiful, and it's Rowan felted tweed. So the back of it is this beautiful ribbing, so it fits really, really nice. And the front is all of these lovely cables. And again, as all Beth MacDonald Stone patterns are, it's very easy knit, well thought out. Her attention to detail is so good. The finishing on the edge, you have a choice, so she finishes it really nicely during the knitting process, so I didn't pick up stitches or do anything. But you also had an option in the pattern of picking up, like you do around the neckline, for a small ribbing section and adding ribbing on it. I just like it where the vest sits at my shoulder where my shirt begins, the seam on my shirt. And so I wanted it to stop there, and it's just really good. So this looks great with dress pants or jeans. I also picture it with like some flowy linen pants and a cotton. I think if I could get the structure of a cotton, maybe a cotton linen, good enough, you could really do something great with that. So do you have another finish?
Nope, that was it.
All right, so I have 2 more that I'm going to show as one because Janet was making all these baby gifts, and Rick and I have got a lot of grandbabies. So we've got 15 grandbabies and 5 greats.
Wow.
And so, yeah. Well, we've got 6
It's a lot to keep up with.
We've got 6 kids between us, and I've done all the knitting for the bigger kids, and now my bigger grandkids are off having babies of their own. So Brianna has 2 little ones, 2 little boys, and she's got Grayson, who was 2 earlier in the summer.
Oh, look at that.
And I know, it's like so stinking
So
cute.
cute.
So this is the Elwood by Jennie Wiebe. And so this is the size 4, but look at that.
That is adorable.
I mean, it looks like
So cute.
I'm holding it up. It looks
It could almost fit you.
It
Right.
could not. It totally could not. But the way the distance away in the camera, it makes it look like it's my size. It's totally not. It's a little bitty thing. And it's got our tag on the back. And then, so here's little brothers. So Grayson is 2.5 and his little brother is only 6 months old. So I did the 12 month. And the smaller baby has dark hair and the bigger baby has blonde hair. So I did the dark color for the blondie and the light color for the brunette.
That's so cute.
And
They're
it's
adorable.
And so, yeah, aren't they not like so stinking sweet? The buttons, check these buttons out. So these are from Amazon. They're hard plastic, but they look just like those leather buttons. This is such a cute, easy pattern. I'll show you the collar on the bigger one just because there's more of it to see. It's garter until you get here, and then it's this ribbing. So it's got all these short rows in the ribbing. And where Claudia was talking about using the bigger needle for the I-cord, I use 3 different needles to bind these off. So I use the same size that I knit with up till about here. And it doesn't say to do this in the pattern. I went up 1 needle size from here to here where the ribbing starts. And then I went up 1 more needle size to go around the back. And that was so easy to do. But the yarn I used for these is something, so the 3 of us took a road trip to Woolly Bully Yarn Shop. And that's a yarn shop closest to us down in Springboro. And it has a new owner, and we wanted to go meet Susan, and it turns out that Janet went to high school with Susan, which was so much fun.
Yes.
But they had this Plymouth yarn Encore tweed, and the colorway is 1204. So I should have brought the little nubbins. I bought 3 skeins of this color, 2 skeins of the lighter color, and I have 1 whole skein left of this. I haven't broken into it at all. And I literally have got teeny tiny little balls left. So I made a size 4 and a size 12 month out of 2 skeins of each.
Beautiful.
That
just
is
adorable.
yeah, I mean that is so good. So this is a worsted weight yarn, and it's 100% acrylic. These I've thrown them in the washer and then I laid them flat to dry. So they're all ready for me to hand off to her tomorrow. I get to see them, and so the timing was just perfect. If I see them and I get pictures before editing is done, I'll have pictures of the boys in their
That'll be
sweaters.
so good.
But if not, I'll have her send them. She'll text them to me because she's so good about that. But I'll stick them in, pop them in next time, or they'll be on my Ravelry page so you can see them. But God, I love them.
Are adorable.
And your sweater is about the same size as this. And a cardigan, a 12-month cardigan is going to be bigger because you intend to have it over something, right? So 12-month to 12-month, they're pretty darn close to the same size.
Yeah, well, this is an 18-month.
Oh, it's probably not quite 18 months. But it's going to fit him just fine. It's going to be
It's adorable.
like I'd give it to him and let him start wearing it right away. So I made those bigger, of course, because, the one little guy is only 6 months old, and I made it, he's in a size 6 to 9 months. So I'm hoping that these will fit them beyond, like way into next year. And then baby brother can wear the bigger one once bigger brother outgrows it, if it's still intact. they play, you know, kids wear their clothes hard sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. I laid them flat to dry just to give it to her, but I think if that goes in unbuttoned, goes in with everything else, it'll be fine. It'll come out just fine. So that's it for finishes.
Okay. So we're moving on to whips then.
Moving
huh?
on to whips, yeah.
So I loved Tammy's cinnamon and bourbon sweater so much I had to do the same one. Different colors, but so I have gotten, oh, this is the front I think, and I've gotten the shoulders up to the
that's
shoulders.
So pretty.
I love the colors. Absolutely love the colors. And this is Rowan Felted Tweed colorway avocado. And then the prime alpaca is the natural color. And it's just, I just love it. One thing I did though, that I don't know why, I was looking at the pattern and I'm like, so doing the short rows for the shoulder, right? I said, I thought I saw, knit. So do like a garter stitch at the top. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And I thought, well, maybe she just wanted to continue with this, some kind of a texture at the top. So that's what I did. And actually, I don't think it looks bad. I don't know if you can see. And that'll be on the top of the shoulder. So I can either rip it back or I haven't decided.
I mean, you've got it on hold. Go ahead and do the other one the right way and see.
Well, both of them are that way. But yeah, the other thing I'm modifying is she had you bind off at the shoulders, and I'm leaving mine on a hold so I can do a 3-needle bind off. So
I actually think some of the testers might have done that.
So
3-needle.
yeah. So I think that's it. But I really am enjoying knitting this.
It's a fun pattern.
It is a fun pattern. When I was doing the body, I'm like, God, this is taking so long. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I think it's long enough.
It's done. Yeah. It's like, whoa.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I held it up to one of my other sweaters, and it's the same size, so it'll be good.
It's beautiful.
And I did block the bottom because I wanted to see if it would stretch out. The bottom would stretch.
Yeah, open up a little.
Because, you know, it was a little bit puffy, I guess, but it didn't change the length of it too much.
Right. Well, they're slip stitches, right? So you knit a stitch and you're using that same stitch for the next 2 rows of the opposite color. So, you know, it kind of, until you block it, it does kind of pull those stitches a little bit.
Pull up a little bit.
Yeah, but it does block out nice and flat.
Super nice.
Yeah.
And again, the Rowan Felted Tweed is just, it's perfect for this sweater. I just love the colorway.
Yeah, that's really good. That's so you.
I know. Shocker of all shockers.
Yeah. And if it's really cold, you can wear it under your Letho.
I guess I could, yeah, because I got the
The green and cream right there. Yep. All right. So Janet, do you have a whip?
Now let's see what I have here. Okay, so the first one is Core by Natasja Hornby.
We haven't seen this in a long time.
Yeah.
So I have made progress.
Oh my gosh,
So
you
this
have
is the
made
top
progress.
and have the button or the bottom band on there. And working on the sleeves.
Wow.
That is gorgeous.
So I had 3 skeins of this yarn, which is the Simply Socks Yarn Company Colossal Sock, and the colorway is Pinot. So really pretty.
Gorgeous.
So when I got to the bottom band, I started on my 3rd skein, So it's a little different. It has a lot more color
I love it
in
though.
it. And so it looks really, it goes, it's complimentary.
Oh,
Very-
absolutely.
I think it looks
So-
like it was intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is on my sleeves, I only have so much of this yarn left. And this is all I have of the
Oh, the second.
the
ball.
second ball before I start on this.
Okay.
So here's what this one looks like. So it's just color, a lot more colorful than this has. Well, this is colorful too. It's a little different.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to work the sleeves until I finish this ball.
Are you going to helical knit?
And then I'm not even going to helical. And then I'm just going to then finish the sleeves with this. So it'll be a different look, I think, on this. Because
That's
first of
amazing.
all,
You know, if you knit from the inside of this ball is a lot lighter than the outside is. And I bet if you start from the outside of here, it's probably
Right.
the same color. It's awfully
So-
darn close. I mean, the inside is lighter. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I am intending on using the outside first because it is that way. But anyway,
God, that's pretty.
I just think that on this, I want to make the sleeves the same length because I've used just this yarn. So I want to make sure that I have them the same before I start this.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a little different, but at least it'll be consistent. So that's where I stand on that. So I'm moving right along.
That is so pretty.
do
It
the
really is.
We haven't
sleeves.
seen her for like a week and a half. She was a little under the weather, and you got a lot
So,
done.
Really pretty.
yeah, so I'm really happy with it.
Oh, I can't wait to see that thing blocked and actually on you.
Right?
It's
Same with
gorgeous.
me.
I know. It's like,
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
or you could make it a short sleeve sweater and call it a day.
True.
Kidding.
I could. I actually could.
Kidding.
But probably not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have 3 whips, and I will start with my Treysta by Jennifer Steingass.
Oh, yeah.
I am
Wow.
making.
I haven't seen this one yet.
Progress. Oh, you haven't?
No.
No, she's been sick.
Oh, I've done this in a week and a half. Wow.
Yes.
Am I awesome or what?
You had a swatch.
I
You
did.
Had a
I
swatch.
had a
That was
swatch.
it.
Well, I
Wow.
now have I have the most of a sweater. Okay, so here we go. One sleeve is done, but I do have it on a holder because I think that it's going to grow a little bit. It's just going to relax, and I don't want to bind off if I have to either extend the ribbing or shorten the ribbing. So I'm just going to leave it on hold until I'm done blocking, but oh my gosh.
Wow.
That is gorgeous.
That's so pretty.
So I'm going to make, I've done, what have I done? I have picked up stitches. This is a modification. You start by casting on around the neck and knitting down. I thought it was a little too open, and for something this heavy, it wasn't coming close enough to my neck. So I picked up stitches and did a 1x1 ribbing. Because I did that to balance it out, I am also doing some waist shaping on the side because it only came in a size like 37 or a 41 3/4. Well, I don't need a 41 3/4 around my hips. So I started doing waist shaping, and I've taken out like 8 stitches. And I also went down a needle size on my ribbing where I almost never do. So I'm gonna do a 4-inch ribbing on the bottom, so where the waist shaping happens, it stops like right at my natural waist, and then I'm doing a 4-inch rib that'll sit on my hips. And that way if I raise my arm, you're not gonna see belly, because nobody wants to see that. Rick says he does, but you know what?
He's a man.
People don't want to see that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm loving this. I am using some really, really deep stash. So, first of all, the main color is Drops Alaska. And the colorway is 66. And I would call that like a burnt caramel. The black is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. And I had bought a 10-pack of this and just have some left over, and I'm so glad I did, because who doesn't like that? And then I have got, what is this? I'm sure it's Cascade 220. It is. It's Cascade 220 BFL. And that is this creamy, it's probably ecru. I don't know if I can actually get to the color. Color 05, but I almost am positive that's ecru. And then I'm holding that together with Zero from the Fiber Co. because I wanted it to be a little bit fluffy in that part. So, oh, I didn't bring the gray down. The gray is, it's a chainette yarn. And can you see the fluff on there? I think you probably can. So the gray has fluff and the white has fluff with the Suro, but the black doesn't. And I really liked the contrast of that together. So anyway, it's hard to put this down.
Gorgeous.
So I want to have it done. The weather last week is the kind of weather
You want to
need.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like this, and I just was knitting away on, oh my gosh, I need to get this thing done and on my body.
Well, you knit it pretty quick.
Yes, she did.
It's a big gauge, and I'm knitting on an 8 needle, a US 8. So that's a pretty good size. And then I went down, like I said, to a 7 for the bottom.
Gorgeous. Yeah, that's really pretty. Sometimes I find it interesting when I see a pattern, you know, in Ravelry, and then I go, well, it's okay, you know, and then I see usually her make it, and it's just like, oh my gosh, that is so much cooler in person.
In person than it is, yeah. Sometimes seeing them
It
wear.
is, yeah.
The pattern itself is really long, and it's got color work at the bottom, and it's fitted, and it's not my style. And I think that sweater actually came out several years ago. But I think modernizing it by not putting the color work at the bottom and you know, cropping it just a little bit and making it more fitted, I think that is going to change it up enough to make it current. So, all right. So do you have another whip?
I do. I have a couple, and you guys, guess what? I pulled it out.
Oh, doggy.
Woo! My Cartwright. So I know somebody said, "Oh, please get her to finish that." So I came up with an idea, and I'm hoping this works, because what I plan to do, to catch you guys up, I knit the body, and I knit the sleeves, and they're separate, and then you have to attach. They're set in sleeves, so then you attach the sleeve to the body. So I tried that, and the shaping on this sleeve was
the
just
sleeve cap.
the sleeve cap is just odd. So it's not much of a shaping to it. So I played around with changing the shaping, and that didn't work. And now, so sometimes I have to just let things sit for a while and eventually it'll come out, but
Festers.
it festers. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it from the bottom. This is the body. From here, about halfway to 3/4 up the side, on both sides, because that wasn't the issue. The issue was the cap. And then I'm going to rip back and then just
Pick up
Pick
stitches
stitches
up around the rest of the sleeve opening, and then knit short rows back and forth until she gets up to the top, and
Yeah.
that way the short rows, as long as you're doing it in every single row and kind of shaping it in, it'll be like the perfect
finish.
top,
Yeah.
the perfect finish to it. Because
We've been
I
going
I
back
was
and
ready to
forth.
get the sewing machine out and just sew the darn thing in. And,
Yeah, I was too.
But the problem with that is you can't really know if it lays just right with all that excess fabric in there. And you don't want to cut anything off until you know it lays just right. And so this is better. I think this is better.
I think
But
this is going to work.
if you start at the bottom and you sew it up one side and then start at the bottom and sew it up the other side to the same point, I think that is going to leave you with a good place to be. You'll just have to know exactly what row.
Oh yeah,
when
and
you
it's
do one.
when you have it. I would call this a semi-stripe, just because of the pattern of the sleeve.
Yeah.
So it's easy just to count, and so no problem with making them the same. So that's my plan, and I would have already had one side done, except I forgot. I forgot what I was supposed to do as far as
Oh, the mattress stitch.
yeah, the mattress stitch, right? So, anyway, hopefully next time it might be. I'm not going to say it's going to be done because I'm going on vacation here next week, and I'll be gone for a little time. So,
Yeah.
anyway, but soon,
That's exciting.
I know. It's like, oh.
and if this doesn't work, I can't imagine why it wouldn't.
It has to work better than what it is right now.
Absolutely,
I can't.
yeah.
I don't know how she could even take a finished photo, and I don't know how anybody finished it using the instructions and the pattern
I don't
for
know
the
how they
shaping.
did either, but they did.
Because it's just wonky as bleep.
So I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too, so stay tuned.
I want to see you wearing that thing.
Yeah, well, as soon as it's done, I'm blocking it and I'm wearing it.
Yeah, it'll be springtime.
Yeah, spring. It'll be a nice springy sweater.
Yeah, because, okay, so the yarn that I used is the Cascade 220 non-superwash fingering, and silver, let's see, charcoal, white, and lemon. So
Yep.
it's
Some good stuff. It's
yeah.
good yarn, even in fingering weight.
yeah, it is. It is. I love the way it feels, actually. So.
Yeah. And it's durable because that thing's been in and out of the bag
A lot.
for like 2 years.
I know. I'm trying to remember when I started it, but and you know, and the gauge is it's a 27 gauge, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna like try to get it all done real fast. So I worked on it, and then I put it down. Work on it, put it
Yeah.
down, and
Oh yeah, you've done a lot in between.
yeah, right. But then when I got to that point, it was just like.
It becomes a Debbie Downer when you get so close and it doesn't.
Yeah, you gotta get yourself motivated again, and then I had to come up with a new way to finish it. So
It was crazy. We tried every which way to ease that thing in and it just wouldn't ease.
yeah, so
Anyway, so do you have a whip?
I do. The next one is the Mackeson by Thea Colman.
ooh, Can't wait to see
And
that.
I'll tell you what, last year at Rhinebeck, Thea, we saw Thea, and she was wearing that gorgeous Mackeson. And between that and that cinnamon and bourbon, I was completely inspired. And so now, gotta make both. So,
man.
What? You got the
Since
whole
the
front done?
yeah,
Oh
since
my
the
gosh,
last
look at that.
episode, I got the front,
That is
the whole
gorgeous.
front of it done, and then just starting on the back at this point.
Oh, wow. So you have the cables on the front
So-
and the back? Did I see that?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So there's cables in the front and the back,
That
and
is beautiful.
Oh.
then there's the side panels.
Wow.
Nicely done,
So,
Janet.
So being sick
So-
helped you to finish some stuff.
that's right. Do some knitting. So the yarn that I'm using is the Magpie Fibers Nest worsted. So I splurged on this as well. And the colorway is Careless Whisper. This was the same yarn that Thea Colman used in hers.
Yeah.
And,
So
oh.
amazing.
And I do love the yarn. And it's just got really nice stitch definition, and
Was hers a navy color?
yes.
Yes. When we saw her, that was gorgeous.
So, and I even bought buttons at Rhinebeck, which, you know,
Where does it
it'll
get
be down the
buttons?
road.
It's on the collar.
The buttons are on, there's 2 buttons on the collar.
Oh, I forgot how it was,
So,
how the top of it
yeah.
was. I was
gorgeous.
so entranced by your the cables up the front. I forgot about the gorgeous collar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you've got to be really pleased with that.
I am.
Yeah.
So how is that yarn
So-
to work with? Really good?
It's really nice yarn.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Gotta love
And
that.
I'm making the size 40 once again. It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That is pretty standard for
That's
us, isn't it?
gorgeous.
Okay, so I gave Rick that sweater for Christmas and he was over the moon with it. So I know he is incredibly knitworthy. He wears those sweaters all the time. I've made him 4 so far, and now I am working on The Stick Season by Rebecca Clow. And the yarn I'm using is Willow and Lark Ramble in this gorgeous green colorway. It is color 134. And I think I would call it like a dark olive, maybe, right? Or a pine.
Yeah, I'd say kind of a piney.
So I am going to have to make a little bit of modification. So she designed the pattern for a woman, and I've got the back of it done to pattern. Sorry about the clanking. Look at that beautiful seam that goes across the shoulder. So men are deeper in this part. So I stopped at the point where she said to stop and just left it on a cable. And I intend to go back and pick up stitches. I'm going to need about 1.5 inches more on the back. So as I knit down the front, I'll keep that measurement in mind when I go by the measurements for the front and go ahead and do 1.5 inches more on the front, and then put that on hold, go back and do the extra 1.5 inches on the back, and have him try it on again because he's really eager to try them on for me. He's a sport, you know. He'll just stand there and let me poke and pole and do all the things, knowing that he'll get a really good fit if he lets me do that. So I'm just real excited to do it. I'm doing the size 48, and it's you know, this is all ribbing, so it looks a lot smaller than it is. I mean, it's way past my shoulders. And I was teasing him last night. I said, you know, if it's too small for you, I'd be happy to take it. But it's a very engaging pattern. It's fun. And I'll probably, when I finish this little ball of yarn that I'm working on right now, I'll probably go ahead and pick up stitches around the neck and get the collar added to it, just so I know exactly how that's going to fit on him while I'm gauging that underarm part of it. So
yeah, that's funny because my husband, I had started the stick season sweater for him. It's probably been 2 years now. And then he lost a bunch of weight, so then I ripped it out and I haven't started it. And last night he said, I'd really like that sweater. Like, I'd really like you to make me that. So I have got to get that on the needles once again.
yeah,
A little
it's
smaller size.
it's a fun and engaging pattern. And it's a real easy 4-row. I was going to say 4-row repeat. You do 4 rows and then you do the thing, and then, you know, it's an alternating rib stitch. So it's just, I think I did like 2 rows, and then you don't even look at the pattern again. It's like it's like, oh, okay, I get this. I smell what she's stepping in, you know? You know where you're going, and you can just keep going. So you're holding a project bag. You must have another.
I do have another. And so I was looking for something in my stash, and I came across this project that I started, oh my gosh, years ago when I wanted to learn how to do cables.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is called the Chickling Cable Scarf. It's by Paintbox Yarns, and it's a free pattern. And so
Oh my goodness.
I have this much done. I've added a few more rows, but it's got bobbles and cables and seed stitch, and I think it's a gorgeous scarf. It's like, and once I started it up again, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Why did I put it down, and why did I wait? Well, the pattern is all written. There's a 16-row repeat, and every row is different. And so it's not super intuitive. So when I started again, I go, this is why I put it down. I got tired of all the row stuff. So I ended up making myself a little table, and that has helped me immensely.
So you made a chart?
My own chart.
So you can tell where you are. You're not seeing it in all of its glory. Here, why don't you hold that part and I'll hold it in the middle. Look how beautiful that is. I hope you can see.
Yeah, we can.
Oh yeah, looky there. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I wanted.
What are you using
Oh,
on this?
I am using the Carabella Aurora 6. It's extra fine merino. And I made another, let's see if you can see that. There you go. I made a sweater out of this yarn.
Oh, you
and
got some ways to go.
yeah, well, this is how much I have left. But the sweater that I made with this yarn, when I blocked it, it really grew, and I've not worn it because I don't like it.
That's the one we knit out of that magazine, isn't it?
Yes, and So I have a plan to
Borrow?
rip out my sweater and shorten it, and then I'll use the yarn for this. So, although if it stretches like my other one did.
I mean, you still... I would knit until that ball's done
I
and see
am.
how much you have left. Mm-hmm. But mine, I knit a different one. I think my Wyeth.
You knit something else with this yarn, and
I forget. I think the Wyeth is what I knit with that yarn. I'm almost positive it is.
yeah. Anyway, it is a beautiful pattern, and it's a free pattern, so that makes it even better. So it's going a lot faster since I did my chart.
Well, and you are a
Better knitter.
an experienced knitter now,
Right.
and that makes such a difference.
It
You've
does.
got years under your belt where when you first started that, you
I was
know,
brand new.
you were
I was brand
you
new.
were new.
Because that's really good for somebody who's new.
Yeah, so it's gorgeous. So I am going to finish it. So
Yeah.
I may not get to wear it this year, but at least it'll be done.
Yeah.
So there's two things that have been hibernating that I'm
Yeah.
finishing.
for a hot minute. Do you have another
Excellent.
whip?
I do.
Okay.
My next one is Gramps by Tincan Knits.
Gramps. Oh, another one. Oh, God.
Here it is.
That's so cute.
I recognize
You
that
got
yarn.
eyes.
My grandson is going to be 1 year old in February, so I wanted to quick get this on the needles. So this is the same yarn that Tammi, we both purchased when we went to the Woolly Bully. It's the Encore Tweed by Plymouth Yarn. And I have the colorway, this is called Denim, and this is like a light gray, I think. So, similar to the sweater that Tammy's working on, but just a little bit different. So it's going to be a button-down cardigan, and it's going to be a two-tone. So it's going to have the gray around that, and the sleeve.
So adorable.
Cute. Yeah.
So this is like the 1 to 2 year size.
Oh, good.
So hopefully it'll fit him now,
Yeah.
and then for a little more to come.
Cute, cute.
So,
That is so good.
and this yarn is so much fun to work with.
It
I
is.
really
It's
like
really
it.
nice, yeah.
I mean, it's got acrylic, but it does have some wool content in it as well.
Does it?
Yes, it's
I
got
don't
like
even remember
22% of wool,
Good.
and then acrylic
Oh, it
is
is,
75%.
And then
Yeah.
3% rayon. Mm-hmm. The rayon is probably the blips.
Yes.
The little tweedy blips in it.
So much fun.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice. It's adorable.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well I've got one more whip that is active, and it's the Purple Roses Mittens by Ieva Ozolia. I hope I'm saying that right. Now this is out of a book that I got for Christmas from my son and daughter-in-law, and here's the first mitt. Is that not just gorgeous? So I just need to do the thumb. They're on hold, and I've already pulled it apart. I had it on two 9-inch circulars, but I wanted to go ahead and get the other mitt cast on so I could get working on it. So I pulled one of the 9-inch circulars out and used a, goodness, I think like it's a 47-inch for magic loop. So the 3 yarns that I'm using are Cascade 220 fingering, and I wrote the colorways on them. So, whoops, this one is bright green, and it's actually greener that it's showing up. That almost looks washed out, so it's much greener than that. The number on it is 9623. The next one is black, and that black colorway is 8555, and then the purple is 7808, and it is electric purple. That one is showing up pretty accurately.
Gorgeous.
So I'm having a lot of fun with these. There are, most rows on the mitten itself are 3 colors. There are only a few rows on here that are, you know, it's stranded color work. I'm getting pretty darn good at knitting 3 color stranded color work, and I'm not going to say that I love it. I'm just saying that I'm getting good at it because there's quite a bit of it in here. I thought I would do the thumbs, do one thumb and then the other right away, so I'll get both mitts done. And yeah, it's going to be good. I really would like to be wearing these beauties.
They are cute.
I mean, they might be for me and they might be a gift. I feel like this year I've knit so much for myself. I'm not going to say I'm not going to knit sweaters, but I'm going to slow that bit down for myself and try to do more gift knitting. Blankets also. I have the colorful Wedges baby blanket by Pearl Soho, and I bought yarn for a couple of great grandbabies, and they're now 3 years old, and I still haven't given them the blankets. They love blankets forever, you know, and until they're like, I don't know, until they're in a booster seat, they can't wear a heavy winter coat in a car seat. So they need a blanket in the car seat, and these are worsted weight, and they're great for that. So I want to get those done. Bryce is 19 years old, and he'd asked me for a blanket years ago, and I said yes, and I bought the yarn, and I started the blanket, and I barely pick it up, and I really need to get on that because I love him dearly, and I'd like for him to have the blanket from his mammal. So there's all that stuff that, you know, you just want to get it done.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like I have enough sweaters too, but I still keep wanting to do more.
Right. And Kristen and Brittany are having a baby,
Oh,
so
right.
I want to figure out what to make for them. That's in June, and that's exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I did already bought them something. I haven't made anything though.
Yeah, I want to make something. I'm not sure quite what it's going to be, but I'll get it all figured out here pretty soon. And the way those little, what are they called? The little Elwood sweaters, those little cardigans turned out, I can see, I mean, that goes up to a size 10 as well. And I can see me making those for a couple more grandkids. I'd love to see that in hot pink and light pink for Blakely. She'd be adorable in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're babysitting those 2 little ones tomorrow.
Oh, fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's
Braxton
good.
and Blakely, they'll be hanging out with us for a few hours.
Cool.
It's going to be fun. And then I'll get to see Grayson and Weston tomorrow too. So
Nice.
hopefully I get to try those little sweaters, or give them to them and try them on them and let them take them home. And I have a feeling Grayson's is going to be really big, but it came in either a 2 or a 4, and I didn't want to. It's just like one stitch that you start off different in each section between the 2 and the 4. But the size, you can see how much there is in difference. So I figure she can roll the sleeves up, and it doesn't matter if it's long on him. And that collar will be warm. So anyway,
Well, I'm getting thirsty.
I'm thirsty too.
Me three.
Let's go to
Do
the
it.
tasting table.
Today's wine is the Blue Rock Vineyard, and it's called the Baby Blue, and it's a 2021 from Sonoma County. And since it says it right on here, it's 89% Cabernet Sauvignon, 7% Merlot, 3% Petit Verdot, 3% Syrah, 1% Cab Franc, and 1% Malbec. So it's a beautiful blend.
1%.
Yes.
Huh. Who
So-
knew 1% would make a difference? But evidently to the
Yeah,
winemaker it did.
they do some stuff, color, smell, you know.
Yeah, adds a little beauty to that. So it's mainly Cab, but it has a lot of other little bits of stuff.
Nice.
So this is also a bold, on the bold side. It's a more smooth tasting wine. It's more it's a dry, and it's more soft versus the acidic.
Yeah.
So it's a little different than what we normally.
Yeah, this is a
normally
gentler,
have.
milder version of what we.
But but I
Yes.
do taste I do get tannins in it. Do you? I'm trying to look at that.
Not much.
Right. It is.
It's something on the tip of my tongue I'm getting, and I don't know what that is. So it's interesting because different parts of your tongue will show different things.
So it's got a lot of berry.
Yeah.
Like, it's on the nose, it's just very berry. So it's like a lot of like they mentioned plums, blueberries, black cherries.
Right. I think blueberry might be one of the lighter flavors that you usually get, right? Because it's usually like those stone fruits and, you know, like the dark cherry, which of course is a stone fruit, and it's really delicious.
Yeah, it
very
has a little bit
nice.
of cocoa I can taste.
Yeah. It's, a little earthy. There's something minerally, like that dryness, just almost like that chalky coating that gets on the back of your tongue. I mean, it's not a
See,
bad.
I got it on the front. I don't have it so much on the back. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, if my tongue was divided in bands, I would say it's like right across the back. That's delicious.
Very nice.
What would you pair that with? I'm thinking lamb pops, like
Oh, that would be yummy.
like grilled lamb.
Well, last night I made spaghetti squash with a spicy tomato sauce. I think this would be perfect.
Yeah, that would be good with that. I like a Pinot Noir with stuff like that too sometimes. When it's that milder flavor, not so bold with the spicy, I think, and this kind of falls, this tastes nothing like a Pinot Noir.
No, it doesn't.
But when on that boldness level, it probably falls in that not quite so bold. Boy. That's a delicious one.
It's a delicious drinker.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
very.
Yeah. You don't
very
need
good.
you don't need food with this one. Although it would be good
Right.
with a charcuterie tray, maybe
It would
with some
be.
hard cheeses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be good.
Really good. Highly recommend this wine.
I like it. Thanks for bringing it.
You're welcome. And it looks like it's a $57 is what it said, but I don't know. I don't remember paying quite that much for it when I bought it, but the prices have gone up on wine over the last few years.
Well, they have, yeah. But you said it's a 2021.
So it's 2021. Yeah.
Well, you probably got that
really
a year and a
good.
half ago. Probably bought a case of it, so I'm sure you got the case discount. Oh, that's funny.
True.
Yeah, so before we forget, next week we're probably going to get together and do our final purse video.
That's right.
To
Yeah,
show
yeah,
the
yeah.
final. We have finished them and they're amazing. We don't have time to record that today, but we'll get together next week and do that and show you what we have created on that front. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just we're running out of time today, so because it really did take a long time to go through.
I know, we had a
those
lot
5
of
and
stuff, yeah.
and the whips and finishes. Yeah, so in editing, if it looks like it's too much, I'll split it in 2. Otherwise, you'll get to take breaks and
Yeah.
you know, maybe it'll make sense to split it in 2. We'll see.
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Anyway, I guess we should. Claudia's got an appointment
meantime-
here in a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
Can't be with the wine you love, love the wine you're with. Cheers.
I set mine down.
Yeah, but you gotta go, man.
I know.